on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal-Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We're going back to Bob Chapman here in just a moment. We've got the Health Ranger in studio coming up in the next hour. We'll probably go into overdrive. All week I've said that I would do a breakdown of how the New World Order works in a simplistic boil down using a chessboard as a prop, and I will definitely briefly get to that in the next hour. We can even show viewers a document cam shot of Jaron's chessboard that he was kind enough to bring in. I've got several chessboards, but the French Bulldog has eaten pieces from different ones, so I didn't want to have a mixed and matched Mongol chessboard in here for you today. So we have Jaron's chessboard. Jaron is a chess master himself. I'm joking. He may be joking, but he had to have help in how to set the pieces up. This is a nice gift, though, whoever gave you the chessboard, Jaron. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I look at this news day in and day out, and it just freaks me out. So I try to have some fun. I can't believe how real all this is. I can't believe how right we've been. And I just hope long-term listeners, people who can go back and see films I made 13 years ago and TV shows I did 15 years ago that are on the web and just see how right we were. I mean, we just studied history. We looked at the facts, and it's so horrible what's happening. It's so much worse than we even thought. If we were wrong in any way, It was that we underestimated how fast this degeneration would take place. I mean, the sky's the limit. The globalists are just out in the open now. All right, we're going to go back to Bob here in just a moment because I want to get into the main issue why he's here, the economy. Huge news on that front. Riots all over the planet. We'll get into what's happening down in South America as well with Bob, who's an expert on that. But first I want to tell you about Diamond Gusset jeans. They're made in the United States. The website's gusset.com/Alex. If you want to get a free T-shirt with Don't Tread on Me, beautiful design. They have several other designs available. Free T-shirt and free shipping when you buy 2 pairs of jeans. They have motorcycle jeans, regular jeans, great shirts, and it's all made here in the United States. Gusset.com/Alex or 888-8-GUSSET, 888-8-GUSSET, G-U-S-S-E-T. And lastly, I want to tell you about eFoods Direct, the highest quality storable foods out there, the longest continually operating company. They make their food fresh every month. It lasts more than 10 years. A whole bunch of different lines of food, non-GMO, non-hybrid, special diets, gourmet food, regular food, raw foods. It's all there. eFoodsDirect.com. You'll never stand on a bread line if you have your own bread in these crazy times, folks. Be the ant. Put the food away. 800-409-5633, 800-409-5633, or eFoodsDirect.com. Big banners up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, eFoodsDirect.com. Don't wait. Don't be dependent on the system. All right, going back to Bob Chapman, who we always appreciate joining us. And if you want to get a free copy of the International Forecaster, introductory hard copy or email copy, and it's lengthy, you can simply call 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Midas Resources teamed up for more than a decade giving out free copies of it. Or you can buy 1 gold franc at a cheaper price than I've seen it advertised anywhere and get a $159 1-year subscription free. And Ted actually pays a tidy sum to good old Bob, and the information's worth it to have the newsletter, either a digital version or a hard copy. Your subscription when you call 800-686-2237 and get 1 franc. 800-686-2237. Ted also told me they're bringing back an old special that is the hottest deal they've ever had. And that is, now listen to me carefully. He was telling me about it last night. I don't even know if I'm supposed to plug this yet, but Ted was supposed to be here, but he's stuck in a meeting with K-Talk in Minneapolis about getting me on there, 100,000-watt FM talk. And so he's not here to tell you about it, but he told me last night, $26 to get a silver dollar, and I forget which one it is, but it's a silver dollar, U.S. silver dollar. I know he said that. A silver dollar, $26 to get a silver dollar and the Creature from Jekyll Island. I know Ted's paying $10 a piece for these books. They retail $19.95. He pays $10 for a book, and then you get a silver dollar for $26. So that's got to be about a $42 value at Silver at Spot, being 22 plus bucks. So essentially, you end up getting the silver dollar for free. Hey, is that a good deal, Bob, to get a silver dollar and a Creature for Jekyll Island for $26, Bob Chapman?
It certainly is. And G. Edward Griffin's been a friend of mine since 1964. And I pushed the heck out of his book and have ever since he published it. He's a great guy, and that deal is a super-duper deal.
800-686-2237. I mean, what... Because you watch the markets, the macro, but also the overall systems. Bob, silver's at 22 plus right now. That's one of its highest rates in the last 30 years. But going back here, what are silver coins on average overall selling for? A ounce of silver.
Well, right now the spot price is $22.04. And the spot market is closed. It's been closed about an hour and 10 minutes. And I expect it's going to continue to go higher along with gold. I saw the U.S. government in there today banging away at it. They banged away at the shares, naked shorting, trying to keep everything down, and they can't do it. What they have right now is a rush by other countries because China's been put under pressure by the Senate, and how they've been put out of pressure is that they're going to have tariffs to offset the undervalue of the Chinese currency. They contend the Chinese currency is 40% undervalued, and they're absolutely correct. And why they haven't acted 10 years ago, I'll never know, but Washington's a strange place. But what's happening is everybody else is doing the same thing. But everybody else was doing the same thing for the last 10 or 15 years. So it's nothing new. And, you know, I picked up an article this morning that came in, and I, like you, pick up all kinds of stuff all day long. And all I could do when I saw this was think of Et tu, Brutus. And it was Julius Caesar when Brutus ran his sword into him. And here we have the Mexican Central Bank. And what they're doing is they have just sold $600 million worth of U.S. dollar options. And they're doing that to weaken their currency that just went from, and this is up, this one up from 13.25 to 12.55. And they want to stop that because they want their goods to be competitive. Competitive with who? With China, Brazil, etc. And all of the countries are doing this. Now, you know, from an American standpoint, we're the ones who are getting hurt because we can't export anything because we can't compete with countries that continue to devalue their currency.
But this is what the G20 said they were going to do 2 years ago, was a global concerted currency devaluation, and that's your report out today. It's up at Infowars.com, but also theinternationalforecaster.com. We'll put it back on screen. The risk of currency devaluation. Why should the average schlub out there care about this?
Because we can't export because we can't compete. So what the U.S. government has done is they have pushed down deliberately the value of the dollar by not paying attention to it, so to speak, because they have to make the dollar go down because everybody else is pushing their currencies down. This isn't official, it's unofficial. And you're going to continue to see this. Now, what gets me is the only other professional beside myself that I know about, Paul Craig Roberts, is the only one who has called for tariffs on goods and services and stiff ones, like 40 or 50% across the board. You know, the tariffs back in the early 1930s, they ranged from 5 to 15%. That was really nothing. And everybody else did the same thing. So it really wasn't a factor in why there was a depression, even though the Keynesians, and that's a philosophy of economics, would lead you to believe that that was a prime reason, and it wasn't. But they're in control and we're not. So the only way to solve this is have tariffs. And it would be the best thing that ever happened to America, because all of these countries, especially the transnational corporations that moved all of their production out of America, now if they build a car in China or India or Mexico or Brazil and they send it into the United States, they put a 40% tariff on it, there's not much sense in continuing to manufacture these things in other countries with slave labor.
So we've already seen massive deindustrialization, which the UN and others admit is their plan so they can control us. And they've also made huge profits by having sweetheart deals with China. But now I'm reading about China increasing tariffs even on things like chicken. I mean, they won't even let us import chicken to them. And because we have the biggest sellout government, we're in the worst position. So that's adding insult to injury. Overall, with your long-term forecast for the ongoing depression we're sliding into, How do you adjust your forecast on the overall global economic outlook, all the numbers coming out that indeed the middle class is disappearing, not just here, but also in Europe and around the world? And we also have all these reports coming out about rioting all over the world as people's taxes go up. Where do you see this going, Bob?
Well, I